This is Dr. Carroll, and this video is about Hello World in Java. So in honor of Brian Kerningham and Dennis Ritchie, who wrote the C language, I'm going to continue the tradition of introducing a new language with how to display Hello World. Let's first start by illustrating how to write a multi-line comment. So a multi-line comment starts with a slash, asterisk, and then anything, and then ends with a asterisk and then a slash. And so generally we put something in there. So let me put a little header here for the description. I include the author and the date as a very simple header for this file. So that is a multi-line comment. And it's a best practice to put comments in your code. And in fact, I recommend that you write the high-level comments before you even write any code. Now let's go on to the class declaration. Here we have public class Hello World. This creates a class called Hello World, which has a public scope. Public scope means that other classes can use this class. Java also has a rule that the name of the class must correspond with the name of the file. So this name of the file must be helloworld.java. It is case sensitive, so it needs to be capital H and capital W for Hello World. Okay, now let's keep going. Here we have public, static, void, main, string, open, close, square brackets, args. So here main is a method. It's a special method where execution starts every time. So we have to have a main function or it won't execute. You can have other classes that don't have main functions, but if you're gonna, each executable program has to have at least one main class and only one main class. Now, notice the parameters to this method here. It's string. It's an array of strings named args. We'll talk more about that in a future video. Here, the public access modifier again means that it can be called, main can be called from outside of the class, which is pretty important. Or you could never execute this program, you could never call main. So it has to be public. Static here means that it is independent of any class instantiation. So it's independent of class instantiations. Void means that main will not return anything. Okay? So there we have all the parts of this method declaration. Here, so now let's go on to the heart of the class and the method. Here we have system.out.println open quote hello world close quote, and then we also have display hello world as a single line comment afterward. So this is a method call. You can tell it's a method call because it has parentheses here, and it's a method call to the print line is how we say it. Method. The println method is a method of the system.out object. So system.out is a special object. It's a built-in object that we always have access to. Anytime you have Java, you're going to have access to system.out, where system is the name of the package. And so we call println, which is a member of the out object, the system.out object, and we pass it the string literal. That's what we call it when we have the characters here and we've specified them in the string. A string literal, we're passing that to the println method as an argument. As I mentioned before, we have a single line comment, and single line comments start with a double forward slash, and then the compiler ignores everything else on the end on that line after the two forward slashes. You'll also notice the curly braces here and here and here and here that mark the beginning of the class and the method respectively. And so in Java, they mark the beginning and the end of a method or a class or a scope. And so we need to have them. They are required. Unlike Python, indentation really doesn't matter in Java to the compiler, but it sure matters to being able to read it and to other developers. So just it's a best practice just to continue to indent your code as if indentation were required. That's it. Now you know how to write "Hello World" in Java.